Hello everybody and welcome to episode 34 of This Old Knit. I am your host Nina, otherwise known as Ine on Ravelry, Pinterest, and Instagram. And you can find show notes, hopefully, for this podcast on our This Old Knit Ravelry group. So I just finished doing homework with Megwin, which was mind-numbing. She just likes to get really distracted, and they have a lot of homework for them to do, so she probably has like 10 pages of homework packet every week, and she gets it on Thursday and it's due the following Wednesday. And usually I try to break it up and just do a little bit each night from the day she gets it through till it's due. However, this past weekend was quite busy, so we had her school Christmas party on Friday in the evening. We had my work Christmas party for the kids on Saturday in the morning, and then we had a birthday party for one of her friends on Sunday in the evening. And after we did the birthday party, we went grocery shopping. So by the time we got home, it was like 9 o'clock. So basically the entire weekend was completely taken up. There wasn't time to do homework. Saturday I did some other stuff as well. We got the tree up from the basement. We set it up. I fluffed it, so I go and, like expand the branches and stuff because we have an artificial tree. And then yesterday my husband put the lights on the tree, and we've hung a few ornaments. We haven't done all of them. I'll probably do that later tonight or tomorrow. But we do have them out. Some of the ornaments are already like all over the floor. We have a lot of wooden ornaments, a bunch of knitted ornaments, and essentially things the children cannot break. But often they become playthings for this part of the year until we put them away for next year. So it ends up like basically the bottom of the tree is completely empty because all the ornaments come off and they do things with them, and then I put them back on like every couple days, and then they get off again. So all the nice ones that I have from my childhood are up near the top of the tree. So my mom used to buy us an ornament each year, like a Hallmark ornament, and my dad also bought me a few, and I inherited some as well from my mom. She gave me a few other ornaments. So anyway, I have several that are glass or are kind of nicer that I don't think would survive the children playing with them, so I keep them up on the higher branches of the tree. So anyway, that was a long tangent, I'm sorry. And my background is very not good right now, and I apologize, but because of the lighting challenges due to winter and it's nighttime, it's dark, it is almost 8 o'clock, it's 7:51 on Monday, December the 14th, in case if you wondered. I have to face the wall I normally podcast on, so the wall that's right in front of me is the one that has our sofa on it, the daybed, which is where I typically sit when I'm podcasting up here. So I'm sitting at my desk, and this behind me, this disarray, is some of my stash, because I was digging around for a ball of yarn the other day, and I have not put it back to rights again. So anyway, this week I do not have any finished objects, unless you want to count Hacksaw Pops, which I really don't count them. But I do have several whips, and I have some small acquisitions, not of the knitting variety. Yeah, no, I don't have any yarn. Okay, so, fun story. If you all remember this bag, if you follow me on Instagram, I was concerned that I lost this bag along with the whip and my Addy clicks. I went to a restaurant. I have a new member of my team that I hired, and I hadn't had a chance to have kind of her welcome lunch, which I like to do. And so we had it last week, and I took this project and my sock project with me, and I only knit on the socks. So I thought I might have left this in the restaurant by accident, which would not be like me because I typically check like 2 or 3 times before we leave a table or a booth to make sure I have not left my knitting behind. It's a little bit obsessive, like I've already checked, I know it's not there, but I check again. So it was really weird that I would have not only not checked, but also not even noticed that the project was gone for 2 days. But I went to work on it on, I think, Saturday, and I could not find it, and I did not know where it was. And I looked around and I didn't find it. So I emailed my coworker, because she drove, and just said, hey, if you find this in your car, I'm looking for it. I called the restaurant on the day that we went to the Christmas party. I think it was Friday that I noticed it was gone. Yeah, it was Friday evening, because I was like, well, we'll be on that side of town on Saturday, so I'll just call the restaurant then. So I called the restaurant. They were like, nope, haven't seen it. We have a diaper bag, but we don't have any bag like what you're describing. They took my information and said if they find it, they'll give me a call. And I got an email back from my coworker, and she said it wasn't in her car, so I was really disappointed. I was totally bummed out, like all of Saturday. And I was getting ready to go to bed, and we have like a big pillow with like a back and arms that you can use if you want to sit up in bed and like read. Or I use it when I'm sick, actually, to prop myself up. Wow, this light is like shining right in my eyes, but hopefully it's good light for you guys. So I moved that, and I saw like a little bit of this sticking out from under the bed. And I was like, what the heck is that? Because it's kind of dark brown. It is on the brown. We have hardwood floors downstairs. So I sort of got down on my hands and knees, and I was looking, and Joshua had apparently taken my project and shoved it under the bed. So that's where it was. So I'm glad I didn't lose it, but yeah, I thought I was going crazy. So I did not lose it. I still have it. Inside of it is my shawl that I'm knitting for Megwin. Maybe for Christmas, maybe for after. I don't know. We'll see how much I get done. So obviously I haven't got a lot more progress done because that happened on Sunday. Sunday? Maybe Saturday. Yeah, no, it was Saturday evening before I went, right when I was going to bed. I'm losing it, guys. I'm losing track of time. We just don't usually have that busy of a weekend. It really threw me off. So I think I maybe knit like the pink down to here since last time I showed it. So this is the Boneyard Shawl by Stephen West. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I am knitting it in the Knit Picks Chroma Buttermint colorway. And I'm using size 5? Yeah, size US 5, 3.75 millimeter needles. They're my Addy Clicks. And if you're not familiar with the Addy Clicks, I really like them. Mine are the lace long tips, because I like to have, you know, because of the way I hold my needle, I actually like my needle to be longer so I can completely fill my hand with it and have a little bit of extra. This helps me with the way that I knit. But I really like them. They have a very smooth join, and you don't need any like little keys or anything, which is one of the things I like about them. So you can just have the set and not have to worry. So you just pop them down. Sorry. And they just pop right off. And then you, of course, now that I'm showing them, they're going to have a lot more problems. I don't usually have this kind of issue. Oh, there you go. And see, they're quite secure. They're They don't come off while you're knitting with them. And even though you've got that little stair step, it's actually really smooth. So the yarn just goes right over it. So it's not a problem at all. So I like those. And then I have this set of stitch markers. I don't remember even where I got them from. I think I got them in the swap years ago at this point. So there's 4 of these, and then there's one that has a little dangly bronze heart that's supposed to be, you know, a beginning of round marker. So I like it. I still really like how it's turning out. I think the, you know, the color repeats are getting shorter, so they're not quite filling a whole section. I'm hoping that when it gets to its full size, I will still be able to get all the way across with the stripe. They're pretty long color repeats, so I hope. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I at least want to do the full skein. I think there's like 400-ish yards. I'm looking around because I thought I had the label up here, but I guess I don't. So that's my plan. I want to at least use one in the shawl. And I have 2, so if it's not looking ridiculous and not going all the way across, then I might do you know, enough of the second skein until that starts to happen, and then I'll bind off. So that is that whip. And then the next thing I've been working on are my Christmas socks. And these are actually almost ready to start the heel. I typically do about 50 rounds. Yeah, because I do 20 rounds of rib, 2x2 rib. So that's how many I did here. I did 20 rounds, 2x2 rib. And then I'm doing the blueberry waffle pattern, just the stitch pattern on a 64 stitch count sock. And I don't know if you can see the pattern or not. You can see it in person very well. The texture is quite nice. I've never actually knit a pair of socks with this pattern, but Danny from the Little Bobbins podcast is always talking about it and how much she likes it and how it's so squishy and fun, so I had to do some. So this is Gnome Acres Sparkle Gnome in the Under the Tree colorway, and I really, really like how it's knitting up. And I'm doing those on 2.5 millimeter needles. I've already rubbed the size off of them, so they're carbons, and I think they're a size US 1.5. So yeah, 2.5 mil needles. So that's that guy. And that is in a lovely bag that I got in my Advent swap for the H Day, which is handmade. So Lynette Knits on Ravelry sewed this for me, and she's so sweet. She was like, I hope it's okay. I haven't sewed anything in a long time. It's perfect. It's really, really cool. And not only did she sew this cool bag, but she also matched the fabric lining with the, you know, the ribbon ties. I mean, how cool is that? And then it has this fun mittens. I love it. It's really pretty. Okay. Sorry, I have something stabbing me in the gum. I don't know what that could be. Okay. Then my next whip is a new cast on, which I've talked about that I was going to do it, but I hadn't started it yet. So I am doing a rainbow Bonbon bunny with my second ball of Felici in the rainbow colorway. So here is what I have so far. Some sweet, sweet little bonbon feet. And I have the stitch marker from Molly of a Homespun House, which is a donut. It's marking you do a left and a right, or a 1 and a 2 foot, I think, so that they point different ways. And when I did my first Bonbon, whose name is Very, I did not keep track of that, and I think I attached his feet the wrong way because they seem like they're inverted. They're pointing in at each other. So this time I wanted to make sure that I kept track of all of the limbs and which one I knit second. So I'm keeping the stitch marker on the ones that I knit second. So I have enough of these little hanging markers that I could, you know, do one on the ear and one on the hands. So you knit all of those first, and then you knit the body, and you're kind of attaching as you go. So I have 2 feet, and these didn't take me very long at all, just probably like a couple hours, because I was knitting while Joshua was napping on me. So he should be done in time for Christmas, at least, even if Megwin's shawl is not done. I'll at least have a very friend to give to her. And my next whip is some Hacksaw Pops. So I just knit a few of them, and I think they're all actually in the same color. Yeah. So this is a mini skein that I got from Lena of the A Wee Bit Nitty podcast, which she just put out a new episode, and I think she got a new camera, and it's really nice. It did a great job, and it was so nice to see her podcasting again. So hi Lena, I'm so glad you're podcasting again. And this is a really, really pretty color. So it's got pinks and mauves and lavenders. I really like it, and the base is nice and plump. I would love to know what this yarn is. I might have to go check out her project page and see if she has knit anything out of this, or if she got some extra yarn from someone else. But I made 2 Hacksaw Puffs, so slowly but surely the blanket will grow. And I think next I might cast on this one, which is a No Makers. I think it's Gnome of the Redwoods or Backwoods Gnome. I can't remember which one it is. It's really pretty though. So that might be the next Hacksaw Puff I do. So that's that. This might be a shorter episode this week, but that's okay. Kind of stressed out right now. Like I said, that homework. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Huh. Looking around to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. The last thing that I worked on is my blanket, which I had not worked on in a little bit. There was one day that I was tired and I came upstairs, and I always bring this up with me because I can knit on it a little bit, and like if I'm napping on the weekend, I'll come upstairs because it's a little more quiet up here, and then my husband can have the music going for the kids or whatever. And I knit a little bit on my blanket, and then I kind of laid down and I had it over me, and it was just the right amount of weight and warmth, and it's so nice. I try to always nap with it, so I'm going to be really excited when it's big enough to cover me. It is not right now, but it's big enough to cover, basically from my chest down to my knees about. I'm not a very tall person. I'm only 5'3", so I'm not very tall. No, I'm 5'4". I'm sorry. 5'4". So that is nice that it's growing. But I have just knit, I think from here over to the mitered corner, and then this part right here. So not a huge amount, but it's growing. So there it is in all of its lovely glory. Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. And I'm, oh, sorry, I dropped my yarn. I've got about that much left of this ball before I switch over again. So it's a good thing to just, you know, pick up and work on. I worked on it a little bit the day I thought I lost my project. I was like, I don't want to work on anything. I'm going to work on my blanket. I was feeling very pouty about losing my bag and my needles. So that's that. And it is big enough now that I'm actually using a bag that I got in a reusable bag swap from Greg, who's Knitting Daddy. It was kind of a, what do you call it? It wasn't just reusable bag. It was kind of like repurposing stuff. So, a skein of yarn that was already in your stash. So rehoming that, reusable bag, and then I forget what the other thing in it was. So I actually got 2 skeins of Malabrigo Home. Is that what it is? It's the bulky weight one. And I knit a hat out of 1 skein, and I still have the other skein, but I want to make mittens out of it. I just haven't done it yet. But I wear that hat all the time. So he sent me a Tommy's Gourmet Market bag from Outer Banks, North Carolina. And it's a Chico bag, which I love Chico bags. I have two other ones that are the Sling Repeat Chico bags. The thing I like about them is they go into a really tiny pouch, like this. And then they have a little drawstring and a carabiner, so you can clip them onto your purse. I just have one like shoved down in my purse all the time. And people at grocery stores are always amazed when I'm like, no, I have my own bag. And I pull it out and then I'm like, whoa, you know, magic trick. Of course, now I'm not going to be all suave with it. And they're like, whoa, that's really cool. Like, I'm not even trying to be cool. I just want to use my bags. So I hate having to keep track of plastic bags for recycling. Oh my god, I just broke a fingernail. Poo. Alright, I'll have to try not to snag my knitting with that shit. And there I'm cursing. I'm sorry. Not child friendly. It's because my children are downstairs. I don't have to self-modulate. I'll edit it out for those with tender ears. This has my alpaca shawl, but I haven't worked on it at all. I've worked on lots of other stuff. Oh, there's my pretty alpaca. And my teeny tiny shawl starter. Teeny tiny. I will work on that in the new year once I'm done with knitting Christmassy things. Somehow today I had this weird idea that I should try to knit Joshua's sweater so that he could have it for Christmas pictures, which is ridiculous. I need to get this idea out of my head. I will not knit a baby sweater in 2 weeks. It just won't happen. It's not gonna happen. Don't do it, Nina. Don't do it. But still, in my mind, I'm like, oh, but I could do it. It would probably be okay. I'm crazy. Crazy weird ideas I get in my head. Okay, so that is it for whips. This is a bunch of whips I didn't work on, so I'm not gonna show that. So acquisitions. I went to the craft store, Joann's. Excuse me, because I needed to get that last little skein of embroidery floss that I was talking about last time so I could finish the cross stitch picture. So I got that, and of course I couldn't just get the 33-cent skein of floss. Oh no, I had to go look at the fat quarters. I know I shouldn't do this because I'm going to end up with fat quarters. It's going to happen. And they were 40% off, of course, which is a good deal. So I got 2 bundles of fat quarters. This one I think I'm going to make some kind of bag for Megwin because she has a lot of these horse figurines, which I think she's shown on another podcast, that my mom got for her last Christmas. So she got horses, a bunch of horses, a goat mommy and baby, and a sheep mommy and baby, and they're very lifelike models. So she doesn't really have anything to keep them in, and they just randomly lay on the floor in piles. She plays with them all the time, but I would like somewhere where they could live, that she could carry them around. So I thought one of these prints would probably be cute for making a little bag. So this one is blue background with like fairies. And they're just little girl fairies of various hair colors. And then there's a plain white with bows. A brown polka dot, like taupe. A pink with taupe and white and that aqua color flowers. And then a green of that same fabric. There you go. So that was that. So I was thinking maybe the bows for the lining and maybe that combination, or this combination. Yeah, I think that would be cute. And then if I have enough of this left, which if I just do the top strip, I should have enough left, I can do this combination for me, because I think that's a little more subtle. But yeah, so that's one of the bundles I got. And then the other bundle that I got is purples. And with this one, I was thinking I got a whole spool of this purple, what is this called? Grosgrain ribbon. When I was doing my rainbow bag, but I don't have anything else I would use this for, so I thought if I got some more fabric that matched it, I could use it for some more ties and use it up. I think I was able to get like 3 bags worth of ties from one spool of ribbon, which, I mean, it's not like those spools are expensive. They're like $2.99 or something like that. And if you have a coupon, you can get them for even less than that, which I usually don't go to Joann's unless I have a coupon. Okay, so the other bundle, like I said, is all purples. So there's this really pretty fabric with just some different flowers and random letters. I don't think the letters spell anything. At least not that I can tell. And there's some little like scrolled birds on there. And hearts. And then it came with a plain plaid. This one is like my favorite fabric in there. It's white with like little rosebuds and hearts. It's very sweet. I like that one a lot. This one's also really beautiful. Just a good lining fabric, I think. And finally, this one is really cool. It is like paper with ink bottles and a key and flowers and birds. So I like that one a lot too. I think that would make a pretty main body fabric for a bag. And there were like 3 other bundles that I wanted to buy too, but I was like, no, don't do it, Nina. Because this weekend, if I wait, I have a coupon for 25% off of my total purchase on sale or not on sale, so I'd get 40% off and then another 25%. So it's silly to just stock up on a bunch. But the couple that I was like, I really, really want those, I didn't want to take the chance of them being sold out. So I went ahead and bought those two. But the other ones I was like, you know, it's fine. If they're not there, it's okay. If they are, it's okay. They were a little more boy-y type fabrics, or I guess a little bit less feminine. So there were some with like puppy dogs and some like forest animals, kind of reminiscent of this, but not Christmassy necessarily. It didn't say Merry Christmas, but it just had little woodland creatures. So I thought those might be fun for maybe a toy bag for Joshua. So anyway, that is all my fun little fat quarters. And the other acquisition that I don't have yet, but I absolutely totally blame Sarah from the Love Sock Wool podcast. I ordered the Quilt As You Go Made Modern book. So I'm excited to get that and try out the techniques. I don't know that I'm going to necessarily make quilts, but I was thinking it could be fun to make some quilted bags. And I think I can use the same technique. I think she has used it to make some little quilted bags, and I thought that might be fun for some of my pieces that I just have smaller scraps left. So a really good example is this. I have this left over from my rainbow bag. Not really big enough to make another drawstring bag with, but it would be big enough to do like some patchwork. I hate wasting fabric. It makes me feel very, I don't know, wasteful. So anyway, yeah, that makes me think of, I was interested in that there's been a lot of podcasters who are doing sewing, who are learning how to sew, and I'm intrigued by the fact that everybody does muslins, because when I grew up, we sewed a lot of our own clothes. I think I learned to sew when I was maybe 5. My mom can correct me in the thread of when she taught me, but I think it was when I was 5. And we never did muslins, ever, for anything. Mom, did we do muslins? Because I don't remember that we did. Now, I don't know if that's because we were very poor when I grew up, because my mom was going to school, putting herself through school. When she and my dad got divorced, she did not have even her high school diploma. So she got her GED and then went on to get her associate's degree. And yeah, so that was kind of happening while I was a child. So obviously in the meantime, she was kind of working like a side job, doing dictation for psychiatrist. And I think she worked at a bank, maybe? I don't remember exactly, but she went to night school. And sometimes I came to classes with her, which was fun, because that actually made me want to do accounting, which is what I do for a living. So it piqued my interest in that, and I actually like drew little tea accounts and stuff. So tea accounts are kind of in my DNA, if you will, in my blood. I really enjoy them. And they make a lot of sense to me. But, wow, that was a huge tangent. Anyway, long story short, super proud of my mom. She's a huge role model to me, and has kind of kept me going. The idea of that when I've had a more difficult road to get my degree. It took me about 7 years to get my bachelor's degree, and I had to go off and on to school and pay my way through. And I still have loans. I have a lot of loans, but not a ridiculous amount at this point. They're manageable. But yeah, I giving up was never even a thought in my head, because I'm the first person in my immediate family to get a bachelor's degree. My dad was a highway patrolman, so he graduated high school and then went into the military, and then went into to law enforcement. So he didn't get a degree. So yeah, that's something that I'm really proud of. But anyway, we didn't do muslins. So I don't understand the concept of a muslin, other than I guess you buy fabric and sew something so you can throw it away. Can you reuse it? It seems so wasteful. I guess if you were going to make the same pattern multiple times, it would be good, right? Because then you could just use that over and over again to customize, and maybe you could use it for pattern pieces. I'm gonna have to probably cut this short because I hear Joshua screaming his head off down there. He might have got trapped somewhere. He's learned how to shut doors, but he can't reopen the doors, so sometimes he traps himself in a room, and he gets really sad. And we have to go save him. Anyway, after that long tangent about muslins, mostly resulting in the fact that I just don't know what you would do with them, or why you would do them, or how you would do them, or maybe it's because fabric is really expensive and maybe we never used that expensive of fabric. I don't know, but teach me about muslins. I want to know. That is all that I have to show you this week. So, yeah. Yep, that's all I have to show you this week. So I will cut it off there. That was really funny. As soon as I said I will cut it off there, my camera, bam, cut off. I wasn't going to be that abrupt. So anyway, I hope that you all have a wonderful holiday. I may or may not record next weekend. I will try to, but it's Megwin's birthday, so we will probably go, and there's a place that you can build gingerbread houses. They have all of the supplies for you, and you can go as a family and build a gingerbread house, and they provide hot chocolate, and it should be a lot of fun. It's at like a culinary school for kids. We've had Megwin do some other classes there before that she's really enjoyed, so I know that they will do a good job. So we're excited about that, and we're going to try to see the Christmas lights at the zoo. So our zoo decorates the entire zoo with different Christmas lights displays, and we haven't been able to go in the past, so I think we're going to try to go while the weather is still a little bit warm. It's supposed to turn around Friday or Saturday. We've had crazy, crazy warm temperatures, like 70 degrees. So it's like 20 degrees Celsius. It's very, very weird for this time of year. We have not had any snow at all. That is super, super unusual. Not freezing temperatures. Last night it was hot enough that I wanted to open the windows in the house. It's December, people. Come on. Very weird. But I guess it's the El Nino combined with global warming. You know, what can you do? So, with that, I will leave you guys because I'm babbling at this point. And start thinking about what projects you'd like to cast on if you're going to participate in the No Makers Cal starting in January. And I will firm up details with Sarah of Love Sock Wool podcast so that we can make sure we're on the same page. So until next time, I will talk to you guys soon. All right, bye-bye.